Good evening, volleyball fans, and welcome into the North Gymnasium here on the campus of Whiteland Community High School for Whiteland Girls Volleyball, the first home game of the season. Lucas Corley alongside me this evening, Ella Davis, as we get you set for the match. The Whiteland Warriors playing host to mid-state opponent, the Plainfield Quakers. Ella, this is going to be a tough opponent tonight for the Warriors. This is the defending mid-state champion, but the Warriors coming off a loss. They need to bounce back tonight in a big way.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure. They didn't have a great night last night to start off the season, so we're hoping we can get it back tonight. Plainfield's definitely a good opponent, so we just need to play well tonight, make sure we make good plays, smart plays, keep up the intensity, and stay together as a team.
Well, let's go ahead without further ado, take a look at the starting lineups, starting with the Plainfield Quakers, and there's a name that sticks out. That's Audrey Utterback. Some may remember her older sister, but this is her freshman sister. Ava Utterback graduated last year, but from what we heard, Audrey might be the real deal.
So, yeah, I actually heard that Audrey's better than Ava was as a freshman, which is great to hear for their team. We're definitely going to have to watch out for her because, you know, her sister was a great player, but hearing that she's even better as a freshman, you know, definitely something we have to watch out for.
And we'll get more into that as this match goes along. And for the Whiteland Warriors, this is a very junior-heavy team. Of course, there was a lot of key seniors on last year's team. They have since graduated. Kennedy Morrison now at Bethel University down in Tennessee playing some volleyball. But they've got a lot of juniors that are going to have to lean on in this match.
Yeah, Kennedy definitely was a great player for the team. She led in kills. Definitely always a great person to have on your side of the court. But I think the juniors definitely have a lot of chemistry, been playing together for a while, and the seniors this year really stepped up. I think it's going to be a good match.
As we mentioned, Whiteland coming off a loss in straight sets last night at Triton Central. The Plainfield Quakers, while we do not have stats from that match, did win against Cascade last night in straight sets. So teams coming off of different performances. A sweep for Plainfield. Whiteland swept last night in their opener. And this is a busy week too, Ella. They have a match tonight, and then they have to quickly turn around. They have an invitational this weekend as well. So they played quite a few matches to get things started here in the first week of the season.
Yeah, I heard about that. They got a busy week. Going to be a long day this weekend. But I think they can handle it. They've been preparing well. So. And
I also forgot to mention they also play at Greenwood Christian on Thursday. So add one more to the mix there. As the Warriors take the field, Plainfield in black on your screen, Whiteland in orange. We mentioned a lot of the juniors, but how about the freshman, Michaela Sanders, who is stepping up now at middle blocker. This will be her second start. She started last night for the Warriors. And someone that Coach Munn said she didn't play very shy yesterday, so you hope to see that here tonight. But always, of course, when you're in that varsity position as a freshman, there's a little bit more pressure added.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see how she plays. She was sick for the scrimmage, so we actually didn't get to see her play yet. But I'm excited. I heard she's done well. I heard she's aggressive, and she's ready to go. So we're going to see how she plays tonight.
And another middle hitter that has been out sick for the scrimmage, and then last night was Mariah Lee. So we'll have to see how she fits in. I did talk to her today. She said she will not be playing, still battling a little sickness, but good enough to be here. Glad to have her back around. She was out almost all of last week, so missing a lot of practices, things like that. So she will be unavailable tonight. The rest of the team ready to roll as your libero for the Warriors, Lily Badel, there in black. And taking the floor, the libero for the Plainfield Quakers, number 2, Riley Scott, the senior. And we're just about ready to get underway. The Plainfield Quakers, coached by Lori Pax. And in her second season at Whiteland, it is Jenny Munn. Last year, 19 wins. In 2023, the most the Warriors have had since 1994. Going to be a different look this year. Team knows it might be a little bit more of a struggle getting through the season, but ready to battle tonight against the Plainfield Quakers. And the first serve of the match is going to be on the hand of Charlie Groninger. Mondill again. They'll go to Donovan on the outside. Here's Roy. Good swing and a good kill there for Carly Roy.
That was great for Carly Roy. She didn't get to play much last season. She's really stepping it up. That was a great aggressive first hit of the night. And definitely kept it in the court. Great job by her.
No, you make a great point. Did not play a lot last season. Only 20 sets played out of 96 total sets. So you'll see that a lot, and we'll talk about that throughout the match, that even though some of these juniors have playing experience, they don't necessarily have all the playing experience in the world from last season. As Waltz with the serve, and that's trouble there for the libero. But it'll be Utterback with her first swing of the night. Off the block touch. Good block touch by the Warriors, but no one there defensively. and the Quakers even it up with side out.
A little bit of miscommunication. We just need to be there and be ready for those tips, but that was a great touch. We just need to be ready for the next play after.
Well, and you know, too, as we mentioned, Utterbacker is going to be the one they're going to go to.
Right.
Badel. That'll be a free ball from Waltz.
Way to keep it in.
They'll go to the middle, and a tip play, and was that in or out? They say it was in, and the kill goes to Mason Jones, the junior middle hitter. Last year, Plainfield, as mentioned, the Mid-State champions, 24-9 on the season, 7-0 in the Mid-State, so an undefeated Mid-State conference record. A little bit of a miscommunication there. Sullivan with a free ball. Tip play, batted back by Sullivan. Utterback, and that one's going to find the line. Not sure if that was a block or not, but the Warriors get the point. And one thing that Coach Munn said that she wanted to see out of Carly Von Dilligan tonight was a little bit better blocking. She had, I believe, 2 blocks last night, but still thinks that that's the best part of her game, that she has room for improvement here in game number 2 of the season.
I mean, it's a great start for her. Last season, she only had 22 blocks in the whole season. So, in first scrimmage of the year, she actually had a great first block, her first play of the game. It was great to watch. She really gets up there above the net, and she's ready for that ball to come over.
And everybody loves to see the roof, but it's not just the roof. It's also the block touch to give your defensive players some chance to get good passes as well. So we'll see how that goes throughout the course of the evening. Early on here, it's a 3-2 lead for Plainfield as Otney has to chase it down, and that one in front of the bench is going to be too much for Sullivan. We mentioned the seniors that were outgoing last year. The seniors on this year's team, you have that entire back row that's on the court right now. Lily Badel, Mia Waltz, and Kylie Sullivan. I believe Badel did not play her sophomore year, but came back last year and was a big part of the team. And Von Dilligan tools the block.
Von Dilligan's really a great, strong hitter. She has a great, strong hand, and she's great with getting those big hits early on, not afraid to slam that ball down.
Von Dilligan last year did play a little bit more at middle block, 52 sets played. Had 38 kills on the season. Expect her to be a bigger factor this year in the offense. Right side, and that one falls at the feet of Waltz. One good thing to see here, though, early from the Warriors. Last night it was about as bad a start as you could have asked for. 8-1 before Coach Munn took a timeout and never really regained their footing in that first set. Battled back in the second set, but lost 25-21, and then things fell apart once again in the third. So regardless of what happens tonight, one thing that Coach Munn has got to be seen is consistency in this team. And you hope that it's good consistency, not bad. Here's Sullivan. Blocked back. That one's going to be over the net. Here's Utterback. Blocked back. Sophia Dyer. Go ahead there.
Dyer actually had the most blocks last season with 60, and so that's really great that she's starting off the game good like that. She has a strong blocking hand, so that was great to see.
Yeah, that's one thing that the Warriors didn't lose a whole lot of was blocking. Ashlyn Ricketts, who was on the team last year, was second on the team with 39, but a lot of players returning with good blocking ability, and Dyer happy to get that one. That's a great momentum shifter if they can capitalize on it. At the middle, good block touch from Dyer. It's Otney with the set. And a roll shot there. Right side. Blocked back off the Groninger attack. Utterback not able to put one down. Roy. They'll try Utterback again. Another good block touch from the Warriors. Right side now. Groninger. Roy with the block touch. They'll go to her. And it's going to be blocked down. That one just a little bit too low to the net. Good rally there from the Quakers and the Warriors. Both teams battling here early in the first set. And Ella, if you're Coach Munn, you have to love the energy, especially what you're seeing at the net right now.
I mean, yeah, that was a great rally. You can't ask for much more. They gave it good effort, good intensity. I mean, we just didn't end up getting the point, but there's always the next one. But they're giving great effort. You gotta love watching it.
A little bit of miscommunication on the set there that led to a free ball from Dyer. Here's Otney. over to Roy, and that attack will go long. And that is one thing to keep in mind. So Kylie Sullivan, Lexi Otney, right now the Warriors playing a 6-2 in their offensive scheme. Neither one of those girls was a setter last year. Coach Munn likes what she has out of Sullivan. Otney worked on it all summer long to give herself a chance to set. Says that that's probably her best bet at playing some college volleyball is becoming a setter. But that can also lead to communication issues because they're not in that mindset of being setters as they haven't done it the last couple of years.
Right. Jenny Munn also said that she doesn't really have a set lineup. She's really trying out different things. Badel is the libero tonight, but during the scrimmage, she actually tried out 3 different players. She tried out Sullivan, too, who is also trying to set tonight in the 6-2. We had a great setter last year. We didn't really have another option for that, so having 2 different ones this year is great to have, good to have options, but like I said, or like we said before, none of them have a great big experience with that, so it's good to see how they're going to work with it.
To put it in perspective for the folks back home, Amber McClung had 668 assists last year for the Warriors. Kylie Sullivan, your starting setter, had 22. So, again, not a position she's experienced with, but one that Coach Munn trusts her in, as the service error makes it a 4-point advantage for the Quakers. And coming into the game now to serve is Grayson Groninger.
We honestly don't have a lot of serving errors. That wasn't really an issue in the scrimmage or the first game. Don't honestly think it was a big issue last season either, but
no, you're right. That was one thing the Warriors did clean up last year as Laporte wisely lets that one go by. Service error for the Quakers. And they only had 5 last night, which when I told Coach Munn she was happy with. That's a number that she's okay with. Serve receive will be the big key for the Warriors here as the season progresses. That's something they need to clean up from last night as well. But right now hanging tough with the defending mid-state champions in the second game of the season for both teams. And that's going to be an ace for Lexi Otney. Love to see that. And anybody that knows Lexi Otney knows that she is absolutely ate up with volleyball. Watches it on her computer all the time. She's obviously really put in a lot of time into her craft. We talked about her practicing setting in the offseason, but someone that just eats, breathes, and sleeps volleyball.
I mean, you can tell she's love for the sport. All the girls here, they're here every day. They're putting in the work. They put in the time. They're really trying to get better. They had a great season last season. They're just trying to get off on a better foot. The first game wasn't really a good show of what they're all about, how good they actually are. So we're hoping we can redeem ourselves tonight.
Well, and if you're Lori Pax for Plainfield right now, you're probably not too happy with the serving of your own team. Quakers with a couple service errors have allowed the Warriors to get a couple free points, and they're right back within 2 after trailing by 4 just moments ago. Mia Waltz comes into the game.
Waltz also tried to be libero for the scrimmage, so she was another one that's a really good passer.
And I think, too, that we'll at some point see Mia Waltz in that libero role. Again, you said that she is not necessarily set on a lineup, Coach Munn, and Lily Badel will have that option. But I think that at points we will see Mia Waltz in that libero role as well, perhaps even this weekend when they're playing multiple games at the Danville Invitational. Overpass, and that is the Utterback that we were expecting. That is Audrey Utterback, the freshman, younger sister of Ava Utterback, who signed with U of L. If you're not familiar with the college volleyball world, that is a dominant national program, was ranked number 1 in the nation here in the last couple of years, was an all-conference selection last year, and last year she tore up the Warriors with 15 kills, but that's her younger sister, Audrey Utterback, that, as Ella mentioned in the pregame, people are saying is already better than her sister was as a freshman. We should say as a freshman, not currently, just
right.
As a freshman.
Right. And it's also good to know they have a cousin on the team, so they've got a lot in the family on the court for volleyball, and that definitely helps with their team communication.
Well, just like that, it is a 6-point lead now for the Plainfield Quakers. It was just a 2-point game at 10-8, but now it's 14-8. We'll take a small break here. When we come back, we'll have more first set action. You're watching Whiteland Girls Volleyball on the Whiteland Beat Sports Network. And we're back here at the North Gymnasium. Coach Munn taking her first time out of the set with the Warriors now trailing by 6. Quakers got a little bit of a run with a few kills. A big block there by Utterback. And it will be the serve from Donovan as the Warriors try to get a side out and get right back on track here. Big swing from Utterback. She goes line that time. Lead now 7. Last year, Plainfield did sweep Whiteland 3-0. Again, Whiteland with a nice season in the first year under Coach Munn. 19 wins, but Plainfield one of the 13 losses the Warriors had. And we've got a net violation. They're going to call that on Sanders, the freshman. And let's just take a look at the tail of the tape here, if you will. Last year, the stats speak for themselves. Plainfield hit 214 that match, Whiteland 088. Plainfield had 9 aces, Whiteland 1. 5 blocks for Plainfield, Whiteland 1. And your leading attacker was Kylie Sullivan, or leading return attacker, I should say, was Kylie Sullivan, who had 6 kills in that match. So right now, things getting a little bit away from the Warriors in the first set, but they'd like to turn around that match from last year and try to have some more success. And early on in this set, they were swinging with the best, and they got to get back in that rhythm.
Right, we have great, strong hitters that can keep it in the court most of the time. We don't have a lot of, errors in our attacking, but honestly, it's kind of cool to see with this new setter. We've been setting a lot of right side, which isn't really normal for the Warriors. We did a lot of outside last year with Kennedy Morrison. That was her specialty. She had 255 kills, and, she could always keep it in the court. That was our go-to, but now that we don't have that big help on our team, setting the right side a lot is kind of different to see, but it works sometimes, it works, doesn't work others.
Good dig there by Badel, but Boone and Waltz cannot get to it. And you make a great point. It really is rare to see the set go to the right side so often. And one thing you can say, though, with the loss of Kennedy Morrison, you now have a few more options, right? You don't feel like you always have to go to Kennedy. Not that she was someone that was always calling for the set, but you just felt confident that she was going to be able to put it away. Now, without a Morrison on her team, you have a little bit more options because maybe you feel comfortable going to whoever.
Right.
And not having that one person that can guarantee put the ball away. But, again, a lot of different players, like you said, strong hitters.
Right, and with Otney as a setter, honestly, she seems to be doing well. She's been passing, setting, and hitting a little bit, and she doesn't seem nervous at all. She didn't play much. She dressed varsity last year, but we didn't see much of her on the court. So it's great to see her, really ready to go and not scared. She's definitely confident on the court, so it's great to see. It's good to see Von Dilligan confident too. She didn't get much playing time last year either, but they're definitely swinging and they're going after the ball.
That last play, no touch called by the line judges, but there was a touch called by the up official, and Sophia Dyer, it looked like Jenny Munn was about to have a word with the official, and Dyer looked over at Coach Munn and kind of said, no, I did, real quietly. And
right.
So Coach Munn saves her words. 19-10 here in the first set as Alyssa Laporte goes back to serve. Laporte, maybe a name that you've heard. We had Elena Laporte, the older sister, played soccer for the Warriors. Her other older sister, Alexa, currently plays soccer for the Warriors, but it is Laporte that plays volleyball. Elected to forge her own path in athletics.
Laporte also a junior this year. It's great to see her getting out on that court. She's definitely been stepping up into her role. And, you got to be nervous as a junior coming onto varsity, having not much experience last year. So I'm really proud of the juniors this year. With such a big group of them, they're all getting their turn, and they're all showing what they can do. Yeah,
you're right. Laporte was one of the juniors that did not play varsity last year, but Munn saying, I want to get her more playing time tonight. We've seen her a lot here early on. Deficit now 10. It's been a 10-2 run for the Quakers.
The Warriors get out of rotation a lot. I've noticed that, mainly because they probably aren't great on their communication yet. It's the beginning of a new season. However, we really do great in out-of-rotation balls and, sets-out balls. We've really been doing good getting the ball over at least.
And right now, though, it's been Utterback that's been hard to stop. And now the Quakers just 4 points away from taking the first set.
That's what you got to expect, though. They knew coming into the game that Utterback was going to be a hard person to compete against, Obviously, the volleyball team is made up of 6 people, but, she's a great player. You got to watch out for anything she does. And the team chemistry on the Plainfield side honestly looks great. They look like they work well together, so it's definitely not going to be an easy night.
And looking for a touch. No touch. That's good for the Warriors, so they get back on the board. And even if you stop Utterback, it's not like they don't have some solid players around her. But this is a team that we mentioned. Her older sister, Ava Utterback, last year had 549 kills. And don't forget about Maddie Lynch, who signed with UND, had 415 kills. So you lose a lot of offense, but you still have some strong players around. That one goes off the roof. Good job.
Ooh, that looked like a double.
Oh, double, yeah.
Actually,
that's tough to play off the roof like that and not get a double.
Right. And you kind of wish you had the NCAA rule now about the no.
That is a great point. So for those, again, not familiar with the college game, they changed it last year where there are no more doubles if it occurs on a pass on your side of the net. Now, if it was a play to the other side, your opponent's side, and there was a double, it would be a violation, but no violation on your own side of the net. So as Ella mentions right there would have been no violation because it would have been a pass to her teammate, which I think eventually will trickle down to the high school ranks. If you think about it, there's no clear advantage gain. If anything, it makes it tougher on your hitter to get a good pass.
Right.
22-12 the score with Dyer serving. A little bit of trouble there for the libero, Scott. But the Quakers able to get across. Roy with a dump and gets some help from the net tape.
I don't think she liked that one, but the outcome came out well. So.
Well, when you look at the box score, it'll say a kill. It won't say that it went off the net, so she'll take it.
Right.
Report's going to come in here, as will Sanders.
Roy got a few minutes last year on the varsity court. She was a little nervous every time she came in, as one should be. You know, she was a sophomore. You're a young person coming on the varsity court. It's a big role to play. But she seems to be doing this well this year. She's also another really strong hitter. She just got a great block or touch on that, but unfortunately it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, and that's one thing, as you mentioned, we talk about the junior class, but there's varying level of experience. Really, if you go back to last year, the juniors that are currently on the floor right now that played were Lexi Otney, but more so sparingly, right? She played a few sets, but not really a dominant role. Dyer and Von Dilligan were really your two people that you saw the most of. And now you've got players like Roy that's stepping in there, just trying to kind of settle in, if you will.
And it's a great hit by Sanders. She gets a touch on Plainfield and a point for us on the board, which we really could use right now. So that's great that she's not afraid to hit the ball. She's definitely confident enough to go up there. She's calling out her hit. So that's great for her to see, especially as a freshman. You know, it's a big, scary thing to be on varsity as a freshman, and she's playing the role well.
Oh, big block there by Roy and Sanders.
What did I say? She got those strong hands. Carly Roy gets lots of blocks.
Roy last year played 20 sets, so she also got some time at that varsity level. You mentioned not a lot. Did not have a single block last year, but has a big one there. The service error followed by Otney, and it's the first set point for the Quakers. Set point serve will come off the hand of Charlie Groninger. Freshman as well. A couple freshmen featured in this Quaker lineup. Bad pass there from Sullivan. Be out of system. And that will result in the first set going to the Quakers. 25-15 after one. Warriors looking okay. Maybe finding some footing there later in that set. When we come back, we'll have second set action. You're watching Whiteland Girls Volleyball on the Whiteland Beat Sports Network. And we are back here for set number 2 in the North Gym on the campus of Whiteland Community High School. Lucas Corley alongside Ella Davis. First set going to the Quakers, 25-15. Ella, in that first set, the Warriors hung tough. They got back to within 2, 10-8, but then it was a big 10-2 run that pushed the Quakers out just a little bit too far out of reach for Whiteland. But what did you like out of the Warriors in the first set?
Honestly, I think even when we started to go down in points, we started to get on a losing run. We continued to keep each other's energy up and not, lose the smile on our face, which is honestly something that's, taken for granted. Keeping a smile on your face and keeping your energy up can be a key factor in, getting the score back in your favor.
Well, I'll say there were not a lot of smiles on the players' faces last night. Lexi Otney was pretty disappointed with the performance of the team after a little bit of optimism coming off the scrimmage against Triton Central. It's kind of a weird thing, too. You scrimmage the first team on your schedule, but they do a quick turnaround and have that first official game. And I think even despite losing that first set, the Warriors played pretty well, but Utterback on the other side, as good as advertised, she was putting some balls on the floor. And the Quakers get a quick side out to make it 1-1.
Honestly, we can't get in those holes. If we dig them deeper and deeper, they're just harder and harder to get out of. We're good at going on runs, but we're also good at, getting in them by Plainfield.
Service ace there for Groninger, Charlie Groninger. Friendly net roll there. To the outside.
Strong hand.
And a good block there, but just not able to put it back in the court. And also noticing there, too, that Von Dilligan, who normally plays middle, went outside to hit there, which isn't normally where you see her play. So we're seeing a lot of different Warriors. I think that's going to be the one thing just watching this team from last year to this year. You're going to see a lot of different players in new positions, places they haven't necessarily been before, and it could take a few games to get things worked out in positioning.
Yeah, they lost their big middle last year, so they have this new freshman, which also means Dyer isn't going to be in the middle as much. We have her trying to play a different position, and then we also have Von Dilligan playing a different position. It's really hard to get in the right scheme of things.
And they just call a net violation on Sanders. Sanders was not happy with it. Thought she had a clean block, and Coach Munn even saying that was actually the attack off the hand of number 9, Mason Jones, that caused that net to move. And it's going to be a service ace now for Charlie Groninger. And it's a quick 5-1 start for the Quakers here in set number 2. Warriors have to find a chance to compose themselves, get a quick side out. Take a deep breath. Serve goes at Sullivan.
Good pass. To the right side again.
Roy pushes it deep. Utterback. Good dig.
Didn't look like Von Dilligan was really ready for that ball, but way to get it over.
And that one dumped into the net by Eliana Tucker, junior.
Hopefully we can use this to get our momentum back. We really need to go on a run right now because 5-2 isn't a great way to start off a set after just losing the first one.
Tucker, one of the returning players. In fact, she would have the most returning kills on the team at 114. She's had a little bit of a quiet night so far. And also a key returner is Taylor Donovan, number 1. She has 87 kills. She was also an all-conference player last year. Junior now on the Plainfield team. And that's a great serve by Donovan to get the ace. Had 39 a season ago. Played all but one set in 2023. Goes back and serves again. Another short serve. Overpass there by Badel. Utterback just has to free ball that one over. Right side, finding the seam. And timeout going to be quickly called by Coach Jenny Munn. as the Warriors face an 8-2 deficit. We'll take a quick step aside here. When we come back, more Whiteland volleyball on the Whiteland Beat Sports Network. Coming out of the timeout, Ella, this Whiteland team has to find something quickly here. Not quite the start that they had back in the first set, a little bit slower now. And a couple of unfortunate calls. Again, the net violation on Sanders that Coach Munn didn't necessarily think was the right call, but you have to battle through that adversity. And right now it's been the serving of Donovan. And just as I say that, broadcaster's jinx, she has the service error. But her serving to really put some pressure on the Warriors. Now they get that quick side out. They've got to go on a little bit of a run on the hand of Lily Badel. Some pressure there on Donovan. Good block by the Warriors. Still in play, though, and it's going to be trouble. That was a good swing by Tucker. And then Mason Jones tried to give it a tip over the net, but just lost sight of it. So good point after the side out for the Warriors. Badel again. Good strong serve, and that's a service ace. Too much for Riley Scott. Badel with 27 aces a year ago. Strong server. Can she do it again? Oh, she does. Back-to-back aces for the senior Lily Badel, and the Warriors back within 2.
This is what we really needed to get back into the game.
For Badel, good for her confidence after a little bit of a struggle last night. Good serving here. Good swing, though, by Utterback. Absolutely pounding that ball. And that's one thing. When your block does not get there fast enough, it makes it very, very difficult on your back row defense to get a dig and keep that point going.
As great as our blocks have been doing, you really need to get there and take some of the pressure off that ball. I mean, that's a hard ball to pass, especially if you want to get a good pass off of it. So it's really a team effort to get a good pass on that ball.
Oh, wow. The bump
Free
kill.
Ball kill.
You do not see that all the time. Kylie Sullivan, more out of necessity than anything, trying to get that ball across. And the block thought that she was going to go with a full swing there and just mistimed it. Again, we saw the Roy kill off the net tape. That one, again, will just look like a hard-hit ball through the seam. But no, it was a free ball kill. Here goes Utterback. Tipped across, and that one she read beautifully. Block closed in time that time, but no one behind the block for coverage. And that's a sign of a smart player. Getting word that the Whiteland boys tennis team just finished up their match against New Pal, getting a sweep 5-0 over the Dragons, so congratulations to them. 2-0 start for the Warriors in boys tennis. And that ball put in the net by Utterback, and a couple mistakes here by the Quakers. The Warriors are within 2. And again, you mentioned earlier that the serving hasn't really been an issue last season, or last night it wasn't too much of an issue. And they've been serving the ball well here in this match as well. Just have to find a way to put a ball to the ground, as Coach Munn said. Good dig by Badel off the rafters. Ooh. And Dyer was able to control it. I think Roy just maybe got a little bit too close to Badel there. And Badel maybe saw her out of the corner of her eye. That's always the tough thing about this gymnasium. It can play a great advantage if you're used to it, like the Warriors are, but sometimes it gets in your own way too.
You got to try and be aggressive like she did. Try and hit as many balls as you can. Get a good shot at getting a kill or a point, but I think we just didn't time it right, or just wasn't a smart play.
Roll shot from Donovan. Here's Dyer. Tip play. Great read by Dyer.
That was a smart, quick read by her.
Well, and that's one thing that if you're going to tip the ball, which the Warriors were doing a lot of tipping and rolling last night when I was at the Triton Central match, a little bit too much for my liking. Sometimes you'd rather be aggressive and make errors, but if you are going to tip the ball, the only reason you should be tipping is out of necessity or if you see that hole right there, which Dyer did. Good pass by Dyer, and we've got a net violation, and this one is going to go against Carly Roy. Ava Manning will come out of the game. Grayson Groninger going to go back. 3-point lead for the Quakers. This is where the Warriors got in a little bit of trouble last set. Good read by Laporte because that was going to be in. Out of system now are the Quakers. It's going to be a free ball. Got to do something with it. Roy. And they'll say 4 touches. That one was not blocked by the Quakers. That's always frustrating too, Ella, if you're the Warriors. You get the Quakers out of system but not able to do anything with that free ball over.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of any free ball you can. Something that we kind of do a lot on out-of-system balls is send a free ball over, and a lot of teams get that point on us. So we really have to capitalize on those on our side of the court because right now when you're starting to get yourself dug into a hole, you've got to capitalize on anything, and a free ball is a great way to do that, and we just didn't get to do that play. So hopefully we can do better on that in the next one.
All of a sudden, the lead extends to 5 now. 14-9. Good pass by Laporte. Tip play. Quakers ready for it, and that goes over the bench. And I would say that Coach Munn might be ready to take a timeout. She might let it go one more. Looks like she is. Letting her players play through a little adversity here. A little bit more trouble this time. They'll go right side to Tucker. Oh, wow. Lucky bounce there for Whiteland.
Great touch by Roy. Way to get back in the play.
Oh, and a beautiful read by the Quakers on the dump. And this will be the timeout now for Coach Jenny Munn, with the Warriors now back down by 7, 16-9 here in set number 2. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, more action on the Whiteland Beat Sports Network. Seven-point deficit for the Warriors, 16-9 in set number 2. And it's been Grayson Groninger that's really led the Quakers on this run. Another great block there. Tucker and Mason Jones, they've been working really well on the right side of that net against Roy, who's had a couple times where she's had a tip because I just don't think the timing's been quite there. And they've been putting a lot of pressure on the Warriors with the serve, too. Here's Roy. Good block there by Otney. Once again, off the bottom of that basketball goal. And Laporte gives it her best effort. But they've now doubled up the Warriors here in set number 2. Again, this is a tough team. We mentioned it earlier. 24-9 last year. They lost a lot. 2 players that have gone on to play college volleyball, one of which is now at the Division I level for a team that was once ranked number 1 in the last couple of years. But they've replaced, the Quakers have, some of those key players. And coming in, we knew this would be a difficult match for Whiteland, and another net violation, this one going on Sanders. And she's a little frustrated now.
I mean, you got to be frustrated when you're digging yourself into a hole like this. Any kind of error is going to really affect you this late in the game. And, you know, if you want to win the game, you got to bring it back in right now. I mean, it can't be a slow night, but you definitely want to win in 5 sets. Or you definitely want to lose in 5 and win 1 or 2, not lose in 3.
Well, if you're going to get 5, you might as well win, right?
Right.
And at this point right now, it would be looking like it would have to almost be a reverse sweep. And the Warriors would have to start digging deep. 20-9 here in the second set. Again, it's kind of been this middle part of the set where things have fallen apart. It was 10-8 at one point, then all of a sudden it was 20-10 last set. Now it's 20-9 after it was just a 3-point game at 12-9. So it's been really just this part of the set where they kind of have fallen apart.
It was a great dig by Sullivan.
Close to the net. And it's going to be 4 touches there on the Warriors. The one thing that's always tough, too, when you get to this point, frustration starts to set in. You're looking at the scoreboard. You're realizing the set's not particularly close. But you have to play the volleyball that you know you're capable of playing. Even if that level's not good enough to beat the Quakers tonight, you want to create good habits here early in the season. As Sanders tips it across, able to tool the block.
Right, and honestly, you know, something I see from the Warriors sometimes is when we get tired, we get a little sloppy, and that's when we start digging ourselves into those holes. And honestly, I don't think they look sloppy tonight. I think we're just making a couple of errors, and we're not really getting those, you know, hard-hit balls. We got Utterback on the other team. I mean, Plainfield's a great team, like you said, Corley, but, I mean, you can't be sloppy. You can't be tired. You have to give it your all every single play. You have to.
And we got a net violation on Roy there. That's been one thing through the first couple of matches here against Triton Central last night and now tonight against Plainfield. Warriors have really struggled a bit with those net violations. Just have to take a small step back, and when you're going for that block, you have to give yourself a little bit of room to come down. That one right on the line. It is out of bounds, though. Serving error there from Charlie Groninger gives the Warriors back the serve.
If you want to win this set, you really got to have little to no errors, and you got to go on a big run right here. I mean, you can't wait any longer.
Good serve from Waltz. Back row swing. That one was a bullet off the hand of Mason Jones. Or correction, that may have been Utterback. My apologies. Good adjustment there midair by Plainfield.
Way to keep it in by Von Dilligan.
Set by Otney. Sanders able to get it across. Warriors are doing a good job scrambling here. Plainfield also doing a good job of getting to the ball. Good long rally here. We go right side. Running roll shot from Von Dilligan. And 23-12 our score. Dyer will come in for Sanders. And I don't know if Sanders, when she came into high school, thought that she would be a starting middle blocker, but she's been kind of put in that role, and so far she doesn't look like she's backing down. Of course, a little frustration you can tell on her face, but she's doing a good job of handling the pressure from what I've seen thus far.
But there's going to be mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes on the court, you know.
Absolutely.
As young as she is, there's so much room for error, and she really just has to learn from her mistakes, and so she's doing well adjusting with it.
Well, and when you look at the long term, too, by the time she becomes a junior or senior, she's going to have tons of experience under her belt.
Right.
2 points away from the set are the Quakers. Utter back on the outside, and she'll tool the block. Looked like Dyer and Von Dilligan maybe got a little tangled up there. Both seem to be okay, but it is now set point for Plainfield. Won the first set 25-15. Been just marginally better here this set over the Warriors. And the set point will be on the serving hand of Riley Scott, the libero. Free ball coming from the Warriors. Big swing up in the rafters. It's on the backboard. It, almost like a game of Plinko, finally comes down. The swing from Sullivan, but a massive block there from Eliana Tucker and Ava Manning. And that will end the set at 25-13. We'll take a step aside when we come back. The third set of action here on the Whiteland Beat Sports Network. Third set action coming up here on the Whiteland Beat Sports Network. Plainfield with the 2-0 set lead, 25-15, 25-13. Lucas Corley alongside Ella Davis, our home opener for the Whiteland Warriors. Again, played last night, fell to Triton Central 0-3. Trying to maybe push this one to 4, get a set win under their belt for the season. Plainfield looking to start off 2-0 on the year. They have yet to drop a set through 5 sets played. Beat Cascade last night. Warriors again will be back in action on Thursday in a very busy week. They have a match last night at Triton, tonight here against Plainfield. Thursday they head to GCA, and then Saturday they'll have an invitational at Danville. First serve of this third set comes from Charlie Groninger. We'll see what kind of energy the Warriors have here to start off this third frame. Somehow gets across from Badel. Overpass, though, from the Quakers.
A lot of miscommunication in that play.
The roll shot, and Carly Roy needs to write a love letter to the net tape because it has been very friendly to her this evening. Another kill off the net tape. Second one this evening. And the Warriors with the 1-0 early lead. Now, Ella, again, we talked about it in the last set. Really, it's not the early part of the sets that the Warriors have had trouble with. It's right around when they get to that 10-point mark where the Quakers, just something about it, they turn it on. They've got to start and finish the set with intensity.
Right, and that's what I was saying earlier. I think the Warriors definitely get a little bit tired the longer the set goes on, maybe get a little bit sloppier if you want to say, and I think Plainfield's definitely better at keeping the same consistency throughout the entire match, and you can definitely tell it's been making an impact. You know, we're 0-2 right now, but we're starting to set off well, so let's see if we can keep it up.
Mia Waltz, the senior back serving. Outside and tooling the block, Eliana Tucker, the junior. Last year, pretty impressive kill percentage. Not always a stat that I like to look at, but kill percentage rather than hitting percentage. How many of your swings become kills? 25%. So 1 out of every 4 swings she took last year ended up being a kill. Badel with the free ball attack. Otney, and she'll put that one in the net.
Honestly, I feel like it might be hard for Anya to get those kills, especially when she's been setting a lot. Something she's not used to, trying to get in the hang of that. And then, you know, she's going from a setter to a right side hitter. It might be hard to adjust. So we just need to get her a couple more of those balls, and hopefully we can get some kills, get some points off of it.
Tight to the net, and Kylie Sullivan, how about that? Staying out of the net, giving a good ball to Dyer, who goes cross court for the kill. And you might be able to hear up next to us is some of our boys players who have all of a sudden gotten pretty loud here, trying to breathe some life into the girls volleyball team as Von Dilligan puts that one long.
It's honestly what we need. I mean, not everything in volleyball is about intensity, but I mean, honestly, I feel like we're kind of lacking that right now. And you know, you're going to expect that with an 0-2, type lead or the 2-0 lead for the Plainfield Quakers. I mean, we're going to be a little frustrated. So the intensity would be good, and the cheering definitely brings it up for the Warriors.
Tip play. Coach Munn wanted a lift there on the Quakers, and there's going to be a net violation, I believe, on Sanders, and she knew that one immediately. But Munn wanted the lift first, which she may have had a case there. Anytime that you're kind of off balance and your hand's behind your head, it's really hard to make a case that it's not a lift, because the first thing you have to do is move your hand up, and very rarely are you making a good swing at it. It's more of just you, again, lifting the ball. But they'll get
service error.
They'll get the side out on the service error from Scott. That's Scott, the senior. Now Otney goes back in a 4-4 set here. Short serve. And that one off the head of Sullivan, who was left alone on an island there to try to block. Audrey Utterback. Sylvia Utterback now to serve.
And I think this is the cousin, correct?
I believe this is the cousin, from what I was told. And if there's any Plainfield people you're listening and we have that incorrect, I apologize. Again, I'm just going on the information I was told. But that's the Utterback, Audrey Utterback, with a big swing and a big kill. Again, had her older sister had 15 kills last year against Whiteland. I would imagine that she's going to be near or above that number tonight for Plainfield.
I mean, it's hard to return a great hard hit like that. You can't deny it. She's a great hitter. She's a great player all around. So, I mean, you can't deny that. The Warriors just have to step up to the challenge in that.
Right side, roll shot, Dyer. Off the shoulder of Otney, and just too much to handle there.
Great hustle play there. We just didn't get the ball over, which is fine. But you can see Dyer's playing outside now, and as someone who normally plays middle, that's definitely a different position for her. So trying all these different places for the Warriors is definitely something that they need to work on, because, that might be why they're just not in the rhythm tonight.
And that just not the set there from Otney. It goes off the antenna. Well, yeah, and even now Dyer's really more attacking from the right side. So listed as an outside hitter, but there's really, if you look at the floor, there's no one really playing outside, if you will, right now. No one attacking from the outside anyway. Sullivan from a back row attack. Here's Utterback, tipped across, and that pinball's off the Warriors.
I think we had a miscommunication. Dyer and Sullivan trying to get to the right side of the court. Sullivan got there a little bit late, so definitely something we need to work on.
On the tip play, too, it looked like the Warriors had coverage there. Just when it comes off from that odd angle, it's always tough to make a play if you're the defender. 9-4 here in set number 3. Good pass this time. Otney will go with the dump there. And that one out. Did anybody touch it? No one touched it. And Warriors will bring Carly Roy back into the game. Some positives to look at last night for the Warriors. Otney, who we expect to be a workhorse for Whiteland in terms of attacking and setting, did have 7 kills, hit 130. Again, she'd like to bring that number up, but overall, decently clean night for her. Kylie Sullivan also had her first double-double of the season with 13 assists and 11 digs. Audrey at her back. Good low serve. Free ball, and they're going to call a double there, I believe. Yes, indeed.
The NCAA rule would come in real handy right now.
Oh, absolutely. Very early in the season, but based on what we've seen out of the Quakers tonight, I would imagine that should Audrey Utterback play like this, you could make a case that as a freshman, she'll be an all-conference selection. And I know it's maybe a little bit too early in the year to be talking about all-conference selections, but why not make early predictions?
I mean, it's a good prediction by the way she's playing. And you have to look at, you know, where she came from. Her sister, just as good of a player. She's starting out better than her.
And free ball attempt there from Badel, put in the middle of the net. And we're going to have a timeout from head coach Jenny Munn, her first of the set, as once again, Quakers are creating some early separation, 12-5 in set number 3. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, more volleyball action on the Whiteland Beat. Twelve to 5 our score here in set number 3. It's been all Plainfield this evening in the Mid-State opener and the home opener for the Whiteland Warriors. Utterback with the service error. One thing that the Quakers do return is a lot of good defense. They've got Sylvia Utterback back. They've got their libero Riley Scott returning, and then Taylor Donovan, who combined for over 800 digs out of the 1,400 that the Quakers had last year. So that's one thing. If you're losing a little bit of your attacking, again, they lost a player with 549 kills, a player with 415, so you lose quite a bit of your attacking. It's always nice to have at least one thing returning, and that's defense for the Quakers. And of course, they brought in a new stud attacker. As the serve goes long for the Quakers.
It's 2 service errors in a row, so definitely something both the teams have to work on.
Whiteland just needing to find a way to get some points on the board here and string together some points. They can't just keep trading back and forth here. 13 to 7, 6-point advantage for Plainfield.
There's an ace.
That's a big one for Kylie Sullivan. Sullivan last year led the team with 62 aces on the season. I believe that was a single season record as well. I'll have to go back to my record book. And that's going to be 4 touches. Yes, it was. No touch there from the Whiteland Warriors. Take a look here at our volleyball record book. And indeed, that 62 ace number was the record last year for Sullivan in her junior season. That one falls just a bit short for the service error. Another impressive freshman for Plainfield, Groninger. Otney close to the pin. Ooh, they called a block there. I don't think that one was touched by Plainfield, but the point continues. And that one will go sailing long. No complaint there from head coach Lori Pax. And Mia Waltz will come in. So back within 4. And regardless of this outcome tonight, which right now looking like it could be a Plainfield sweep unless Whiteland can get something going here in set number 3, I would definitely have to say the Warriors have looked much better in the way they've played against Plainfield tonight than how they looked last night against Triton Central on the road.
I think after losing like that, you're going to want to play better and you're going to have a better mindset going into the game. Maybe not a better mindset, but definitely more of a willpower to win.
And sometimes it's a pride thing, right? Like you have that opener and you're excited for the season and you kind of get hit on the chin and you take a step back and say, whoa, we can't let that happen again. And although right now the scores look similar, 25-15, 25-13, I think most of these players will be able to walk away knowing they have played better and that Plainfield is a very good team. And they'll have other teams that they'll be able to bring the pain to that they've already felt early this season kind of being brought to them. 16-10 the score. Tight to the net, and it'll be batted down by the Quakers. And they're saying the ball was over the net, so service ace there.
Still hustle from every single play that we've seen, even if we get the point or not, even if we get the ball over or not, there's still been a good hustle to get the ball, which is something the Warriors are good at.
18-10, service error, that time by Donovan.
Now you have to capitalize on a service error like this. You're starting to dig yourself into a hole. You're getting closer and closer to, the game-winning point. So you have to capitalize on this and hopefully go on a run.
Another big swing there, uncontested from Utterback. And they'll bring Badel back in. 19-11. Well, looking forward this week, Warriors, again, looking like they're going to start this season 0-2, but they'll have GCA. That is always a tightly contested match. That will be at GCA on Thursday. I believe there's been a couple 5-setters in the last few years against GCA. So if you have no plans, go out to that one. Also, our next Whiteland Beat broadcast, though, is on Thursday. That will be boys soccer against Plainfield, so we'll have another Quakers broadcast if you're a Plainfield fan. Join Haley Hillhouse, Madison Fleury, and Kinsey Fleury on the call. Game time set for 7:30. So it'll be one that should finish under the lights. Always a fun time out there at the soccer complex. Get some beautiful sunsets out there. And occasionally we get some guest appearances by the donkeys in the pasture that's behind soccer field as well. And Ella, I don't know if you heard, but the soccer complex getting an upgrade. They're going to be getting a new soccer building with locker room, something they haven't had at the complex.
I did hear about that.
We're getting a new press box. That won't be this season. That'll be next season, but we'll be not looking into the sun anymore, so that'll be nice.
Oh, that'll be nice.
And probably with the one thing that most people are excited for, especially the grounds crew, a new turf field, and that's going to be soccer turf, which is different if you're not aware from the football turf. Plays like a soccer field, not as fast as when you go and you play on that soccer field at some venues. And that's a lot of upgrades going on around here. We've got the new building out front of the high school. We've got the new natatorium coming. That's all just phase one of this massive construction project. You probably won't even be in school still when it's all finished.
Nope, I will not.
But you'll at least get to see the soccer field next year, so
that's exciting.
Hold on to hope there. 22-13 here in set number 3. Carly Roy coming back in. It's been all Plainfield tonight. From the get-go, 25-15 in the first set, 25-13. Warriors played tough in the early parts of the sets, just didn't have the gas in the tank to hang with Plainfield as the sets went on. Roy tips it over. That one's going to go off of the rafters and still able to take a good swing on it as Utterback. Sanders with the bump on the free ball.
A lot of out of rotation on both sides of the court right now. Still a good rally. Still trying to get the point.
Down ball by Roy.
Little miscommunication there, and it gets over. Michaela with a good hit.
And that'll work in the
be
favor of the
Whiteland's
Warriors.
point.
One thing you always got to appreciate about the fans here for Whiteland Volleyball, they turn out. Good little crowd here for the first game at home. Last year when the Warriors were kind of going on an unprecedented run of wins, again, 19 wins, the most since 1994. This place was getting packed and rowdy almost every time they played a game.
Good block by Sullivan, single block.
Right side, Sullivan with a big swing.
Good tip and over by Dyer.
Utterback. That one had some flames coming off the back of it.
I mean, that's hard to stop.
I'll be very interested. I'll have to go back later in the season and see what her kill totals are here as a freshman, and maybe go back and look and see what her sisters were. Because again, everyone's saying that she might be better than her sister at this same age. And she's making a statement tonight. She struggled a little bit with her serving. You can tell she's a little frustrated. She has a few service errors.
It's okay, we'll take it.
I was going to say, right now the Warriors will take it, but right now the Quakers definitely in a position where they're going to ultimately win this match unless there was some catastrophic failure on the Quakers' part. Here's the serve from Badel. And that one misread. Back row there. Can't really tell there. Is that an 18?
Looks like 10 to me, Corley.
10. Maddie Bridge, the senior. Should have brought my glasses. I haven't worn them in quite a while, though. My fault.
Gosh, can't even see the court.
Right side, it's Tucker. Into the net. Couple good plays here from the Warriors. Putting some pressure on with the serve. And that one will go out of bounds and is now match point for the Quakers. And this was Grayson Groninger, who has had a good serving night herself. And she'll have a chance to put this match away. Otney with a dump. Good read there by Otney. That's what a good dump looks like there. A couple times earlier in this match, maybe misreading the play, but saw that wide open space. And a reminder, if you like volleyball, we do have another game next week as the Warriors will take on Greenwood. Hope you'll join us for that one. As that tip puts it away, final score, 3-0. Plainfield wins 25-15, 25-13, 25-18. Well, Ella, this was a tough matchup for the Warriors this evening. Thought, though, early on in the sets, if they could find that same energy and take it for a full 3-set, 4-set, 5-set match and keep it up for the entire set, there's some positives that they'll be able to take away from this match.
Yeah, definitely. I think they definitely know their mistakes. They really just have to, keep their energy up. And like I said, keep their composure even when they're getting tired, even when they're getting sloppy. I mean, they definitely look like they're playing well, but they have to play together, and that's definitely a big part of volleyball, especially when you have so many people on the court. So we're definitely just going to have to work to get better, take every practice hard, and, take control.
On the other side for the Plainfield Quakers, I think it's safe to say that they will be a contender in the mid-state from what we saw tonight. Utterback, as good as advertised. What'd you think of the Quakers' performance this evening?
I mean, I thought they looked great. I mean, I remember last year they're a great team. You have to give them that. You have to give Utterback the credit. I mean, there's no taking away from that. But, I mean, the Warriors played hard. They definitely had a chance against them. We just didn't get it tonight. But, I mean, yeah, they played great. Not many errors. Definitely some service errors they need to work on, but that can always be fixed. And it was a great game to watch.
Well, as we mentioned, our next Whiteland Beat broadcast will be on Thursday evening as the boys soccer team takes on Plainfield. We'll have that call for you at 7:30. Again, next Tuesday, Warriors will be here at home against Greenwood. We'll have that action from the North Gymnasium. For Ella Davis, for our entire crew, Kate Barnes, Nolan Edens on camera.